The night has settled softly across the hills. A gentle hush spreading through the fields where the vines grow in quiet rows. A breeze drifts low through the leaves, carrying the sweet scent of earth and ripened fruit. The stars above shimmer like lanterns hung by unseen hands. Steady, tender, eternal. And somewhere between their light and the soft breath of wind, a whisper rises. Abide in me, and you will bear fruit. Perhaps you've had a long day, filled with effort, with noise, with moments of striving that left your heart tired. Perhaps there's a part of you that longs, not to achieve, but simply to rest, to breathe again without reaching, to exist without proving. If so, this story is for you. Take a slow, deep breath. Let the air enter gently, like moonlight through an open window. Hold it softly for a moment, then exhale, long and slow. Let your shoulders loosen, your chest relax, your mind grow quiet. The world will keep turning, even as you rest in this stillness. Let go of the weight of doing, and return to the quiet rhythm of being. If these stories bring you peace, take a moment to like this video. Subscribe for more nightly reflections, and share where you're listening from tonight. Your words and presence help keep this space warm and growing. Now, take another slow breath. Let's begin. In the cool quiet of the countryside, a vineyard sleeps beneath the stars. Each vine stands rooted in the soil, its branches stretching outward like open hands. Though the night is still, life moves quietly through them, sap flowing from root to stem, from stem to leaf, from leaf to fruit. The branches do not strain. They simply remain connected, trusting the vine to carry life where it needs to go. Somewhere in that garden, beneath the hush of midnight, a man walks between the rows. His lantern sways gently, the light gliding over leaves silvered by dew. He runs his fingers along the vines, feeling their quiet strength, the pulse of life moving through them unseen. He knows them all by heart. Each branch, each tender leaf, each cluster of fruit that clings with patient faith. He whispers softly into the dark, "Stay close to me, and you will live." The garden answers with silence, but it is not an empty silence. It is full, alive, sacred. Even without sound, the truth moves. That connection to the source is the beginning of every kind of peace. Take another gentle breath. Feel it rise and fall in rhythm with the quiet night. You are part of that same rhythm, living, breathing, held by something greater than yourself. You are the branch, and he is the vine. You do not have to force the fruit to come. You do not have to earn the flow of life. You only need to remain. The lantern light flickers softly against the vines, and in its glow the gardener's face is calm, patient, kind. His eyes reflect the stars. His steps leave no sound on the earth. He moves slowly, purposefully, as though every vine is precious beyond measure. He touches one branch gently, pruning away a dry leaf, not to wound, but to make space for new life. The branch remains still, trusting the hand that tends it. And in that quiet moment, the whole garden seems to breathe. The earth sighs softly. The wind moves through the leaves like a whispered prayer. Every vine, every branch, every root is alive within one heartbeat of grace. The gardener's care is unhurried, and so is God's. He does not rush your growth. He does not demand your fruit before its time. He only asks that you remain close. Another deep breath now. Inhale the peace that lingers between the leaves. Exhale the noise that keeps you apart from stillness. There is no effort here. No need to strive. You are already connected to the source that gives you life. You are already part of the vine that will never let you go. And as the night deepens, the stars drift quietly across the sky. The vineyard glows faintly in their silver light, and a single truth hums through the silence like music too soft to hear. Abide and live. Rest and bear fruit. Be still and know that the vine will hold you always. The air is cool in the garden tonight, soft and full, carrying the scent of ripened grapes and earth that has been faithful through the seasons. A mist drifts low across the vineyard, curling around each vine like a tender veil. The moonlight spills gently between the rows, silvering the leaves and tracing the soft shape of fruit that waits quietly upon the branches. The whole garden feels alive, yet deeply at rest. Each vine standing still, but breathing, growing, receiving life from something unseen. It is the quiet work of abiding. Paul once wrote of mystery, but here, in this vineyard, that mystery feels simple. The vine draws from the earth. The branches draw from the vine. The fruit grows in silence. No branch commands the sap to flow. No fruit hurries its ripening. The rhythm is older than time, guided by unseen hands that never fail. In Him, we live, and move, and have our being. In Him, we abide, and bear fruit. Take a slow, gentle breath. Let the air slide softly into your lungs, like cool wind through the leaves. Hold it just for a heartbeat, then exhale slowly, letting it drift away. With each breath, feel the same stillness that fills the garden. This is how the soul breathes when it is near God. The vines stretch in long rows across the hillside, their roots deep in soil that remembers rain and sun. The branches wind together, touching, holding, sharing shade and light. There is no striving here, no jealousy, no fear of less. Each vine draws from the same life and gives it freely to all who remain connected. The garden is not a competition of growth. It is a communion of belonging. Somewhere in the distance, a small stream murmurs through the stones. Its water flows clear and constant, fed by springs deep below the earth. The gardener knows, without that stream, the vines could not live. And so he guides the roots toward it. Patient, gentle, sure. He does not speak, yet every leaf listens. Another breath, deeper now. Let the air fill you like water filling the well of your soul. Then let it go, soft and slow. Feel how, even as you release, there is no emptiness, only space for new life to enter. Abiding is not holding on tightly. It is allowing yourself to be held. The moonlight catches the edges of the leaves, turning them to silver flames in the dark. You can almost see the life pulsing through them, the invisible current that flows from root to branch. It is the same current that flows through you, unseen, but constant. The breath that moves through your body, the strength that rises when you rest, the peace that arrives when you stop trying to earn it. All of it is the same life that comes from the vine. The gardener walks slowly between the rows, his lantern now dim in the growing mist. He stops beside one vine, kneels, and touches the soil around its base. His fingers move through the earth, loosening it, breathing space for the roots beneath. He whispers softly, "Drink deeply, for life is yours to keep." Oi. And though no one hears it but the night, the vine seems to listen. Its leaves shiver gently in the breeze, as if in gratitude. Take another deep breath. Inhale slowly. Feel the stillness expand within you. Exhale fully. Let everything unneeded fall away. You do not have to be strong tonight, only open. You do not have to force your growth, only remain connected to the one who gives life. The garden hums faintly in the darkness, a song older than words. The air is alive with the scent of promise, of fruit not yet ready, but already assured. The gardener rises, his steps leaving faint prints in the dew. He looks upon the vineyard with quiet joy, for every branch that abides will bloom in its time. You are part of that garden too, rooted in divine love, nourished by unseen grace, watched over by hands that never sleep. You do not have to fear the waiting season, for life is moving through you even now. The branch does not fear the night. It trusts the dawn to come. Take one last slow breath before we move on. Inhale the peace of the garden. Exhale into surrender. Let the silence hold you, as the vine holds the branch. You are safe. You are growing. You are loved. The morning mist begins to lift from the vineyard. Pale ribbons of light weaving through the rows like soft music made visible. The world stirs gently, dew glinting on every leaf, the air full of quiet promise. Each vine stands rooted, steady, calm, its branches opening toward the growing light. The sun has not yet reached its full warmth, yet already the garden breathes with life unseen. It is the sacred rhythm of abiding, silent, steady, sure. The branches stretch outward from the vine, slender, alive, tender in their strength. Through each one flows a living current, the sap rising like a pulse of quiet joy. The leaves tremble slightly in the breeze, not from weakness, but from the movement of life within them. They do not fear the change of seasons, for they draw their strength from the vine that never fails. Everything that moves in them comes from the root below. Everything that blooms is born of connection. Take a slow, deep breath. Let it come easily, smooth as morning air moving through the trees. Hold it softly, then release, letting every muscle fall into ease. The breath does not rush. It flows like the sap within the vine. The same spirit that gives life to the branches gives life to you. A small bird lands on one of the vines, singing softly into the silence. Its voice rises pure and simple, a melody that seems to match the rhythm of the wind. Even the smallest creature belongs to this harmony of life. The bird sings not to prove its worth, but because the song is already within it. So too, the branch bears fruit not by effort, but by remaining connected. The secret is not striving, but staying. The gardener stands nearby, his hands gentle upon one of the vines. He watches as sunlight begins to touch the leaves, gold spilling through green. He knows the fruit will not come today, nor tomorrow, yet he is in no hurry. Growth is not measured by haste, but by trust in the steady flow of life unseen. He smiles quietly, for he knows the vine is strong, and its strength will sustain every branch. Another breath, slow and full. Inhale warmth, exhale rest. Feel the air fill your chest, and release it like a tide returning to the sea. You are breathing the same rhythm that moves through creation, the same spirit that gives life to the world. Each inhale, a reminder of the vine's gift. Each exhale, a letting go into his care. The garden brightens now, the mist thinning, revealing the beauty of every row. Clusters of early fruit glimmer softly beneath the leaves, small, green, and firm. They are not yet sweet, but they are alive with promise. The branch does not question its purpose. It trusts that in time, the fruit will ripen. The gardener will come when the season is right, and the garden will rejoice. The branches are not alone. They wind together, crossing, touching, sharing shadow and sun alike. They do not compare or compete, for they are all fed by the same vine. Each one bears fruit in its time, shaped by the same love that flows through them all. This is how God's Spirit moves: one source, one life, countless expressions. The vine never withholds. It simply gives, endlessly. Take another gentle breath. Let the inhale fill you with light, and the exhale carry away all hurry. There is no need to chase the fruit. It will come when love has done its quiet work. For everything alive in you now is already enough. You are not called to force growth, only to remain where love flows freely. The sun glides higher above the horizon, and the vineyard glows with living color. Each branch gleams with dew. Each leaf sways with joy. Each small fruit holds within it the sweetness of what is to come. The garden hums softly with unseen life, the sound of God breathing through creation. And beneath it all, a truth as steady as the heartbeat of the earth itself. Abide and live. Remain and bear fruit. The sun has now risen fully over the vineyard, casting long, golden light across the rows of vines that climb the gentle slope. The mist has vanished, and the warmth of day begins to settle on the soil, awakening the scent of earth and growth. Each vine glows faintly in the light, every leaf alive with color, every tendril reaching quietly toward the sky. The garden hums softly, not with noise, but with the sound of life unfolding in rhythm. Here, nothing hurries, nothing fears. The vine knows the seasons, and the seasons know the vine. For a time, everything stands in perfect peace. But soon the day will grow hot, the winds will change, and clouds will gather beyond the horizon. There will be days of drought, days of pruning, moments when the branch feels the absence of fruit and wonders if it has failed. Yet through it all, the vine remains steadfast. The roots go deep into living water, and the life of the vine continues to flow unseen. So it is with the soul that abides in God. Take a slow, gentle breath. Let it enter like sunlight on still water. Hold it softly, for just a heartbeat. Then exhale, smooth and calm, letting every worry drift away. As the branch does not fear the storm, so too can your heart rest in the gardener's care. The gardener returns in the brightness of the morning, his robe brushed by the leaves as he walks between the rows. In his hands are pruning shears, gleaming softly in the sun. He moves slowly, patiently, his eyes full of quiet knowing. He stops beside one vine, bends, and studies a cluster of branches heavy with green leaves. His hand moves to one, strong, but growing wild, reaching too far from the center. He pauses, then trims it gently. The branch trembles, but the vine does not resist. The cut is small, yet necessary. It is not a wound of harm, but of healing. Without it, the fruit would grow thin, the life of the vine stretched too far. The gardener knows. To prune is to love, to remove what is good, to make room for what is best. Another breath, deeper now. Inhale peace, exhale resistance. Let the air flow through you like wind through open fields. There is beauty even in the moments that feel like loss. For the same hand that prunes is the hand that planted. The same love that cuts is the love that heals. The garden grows warm under the sun, and the branches glisten where the dew once rested. The trimmed vine stands still, but within it, life continues to move. The sap flows stronger now, redirected toward the heart, carrying strength where it is most needed. So too, the soul, when surrendered, becomes stronger at its core. Pain may visit for a moment, but peace returns with deeper roots. The gardener lifts his face to the wind and closes his eyes for a moment. He listens, as though hearing something only love can hear. A bird's song, the rustle of leaves, the whisper of water far below the roots. All of it sings the same truth: growth cannot happen without trust, and trust cannot grow without surrender. Another slow breath. Inhale light, exhale release. There is no need to control, no need to understand. Just as the branch yields to the gardener's hand, yield to the one who shapes your heart with kindness. You are not being cut away. You are being made whole. The sun glows brighter now, every shadow softening under its light. The leaves shimmer. The air shivers gently with warmth. The vineyard is alive with movement unseen, roots drinking deep, sap flowing strong, life rebuilding itself in silence. The gardener steps back and smiles. The vine stands radiant, stronger in its stillness. He knows that, in time, the fruit will come. The garden hums with contentment, every breath of wind a song of surrender. Even the soil seems to sigh with rest. For what is taken is never truly lost. It returns as something greater. and what is pruned in love always blooms again in time. Take one last slow breath, and let it settle deep within. Let it remind you that your seasons are safe in His timing. The one who tends your life knows every leaf, every root, every quiet turning of your soul. And when the time is right, the fruit will come in fullness. The afternoon sun rests high above the vineyard, spreading golden warmth across the endless rows of vines that curve like lines of a gentle hymn. The hum of insects weaves softly through the still air, a slow and steady music of life at work. Every leaf glows translucent, light passing through veins of green like quiet rivers of grace. And beneath the surface, roots move deeper into the earth, seeking the cool stream that feeds them unseen. This is the hour of the gardener's quiet work. Nothing hurried, nothing forced, only love, shaping what it tends. He walks slowly through the vineyard, a woven basket hanging at his side, the sound of his steps lost in the grass. His hands brush the vines as he passes, fingertips tracing the lines of each branch as though greeting an old friend. He sees what the eye cannot, where life flows freely, where it falters, where growth waits to awaken. To others, the garden may look still, but the gardener feels movement in everything. For he knows the secret work of roots and light, the unseen pulse of the vine. And he knows the most beautiful growth happens in silence. Take a slow, deep breath. Let the inhale come like wind through the leaves, gentle and full. Hold it softly, just long enough to feel its peace settle within you. Then let it go, smooth and calm. As you breathe, remember, the gardener's care is not rushed, and neither must you be. He kneels beside one vine, his shadow folding across the soil. The ground is warm beneath his touch, rich and fragrant with promise. He gathers the earth around the roots, pressing it gently, ensuring it holds enough strength to feed the branch above. His movements are slow, certain, each one filled with patience. He hums a low tune, a song without words, yet the leaves seem to lean toward it. Even the wind pauses to listen. There are moments when he prunes, moments when he waters, and moments like this, when he simply tends. It is the same with the soul. There are days of change, of growth, of stillness. There are seasons when God's hand feels close, and others when He works quietly beneath the surface. But in every season, the care continues. The gardener never forgets his garden. Another breath, slow and steady. Inhale trust, exhale striving. Feel your body soften, your heart open. Growth does not depend on your effort alone. It flows from his love moving through you. Even when you do not see it, the roots are deepening. Even when you feel unseen, he is near. The sun dips slightly westward now, the light turning warmer, softer. The air carries the faint hum of bees moving between blossoms, tiny keepers of the garden's promise. The gardener rises and steps back to look over his work. From vine to vine, life stretches in all directions, a living pattern of connection and grace. He smiles faintly, for he knows what the branches cannot. That fruit is already forming, quietly, faithfully, within the flow of time. There is no moment too small for his attention, no leaf unnoticed, no tendril forgotten. He sees the one that droops and gently lifts it back to the trellis. He ties it carefully with soft twine, just enough to guide, never to bind. He whispers, "Stay, and you will thrive." Oi. The branch sways in the wind as if nodding in quiet trust. Another breath, deeper now. Let the air move through you like sap through a living vine. Feel it bring warmth to your chest and calm to your thoughts. Every heartbeat, every inhale, is evidence that the gardener has not left you. He is here, in the rhythm of your breathing, in the stillness between moments. The light deepens, the garden glows. Each vine stands tall, steady, alive with quiet joy. The gardener's work is nearly invisible to the world, but to the branches, it is everything. Through his hands, strength flows, direction comes, and life endures. He lifts his gaze toward the sky, where clouds drift lazily through blue. The day has been long, yet his peace has never left him. He whispers to the wind, "Remain in me, and you will bear fruit." And the vineyard answers, not in words, but in the soft shimmer of light across every leaf. Take one last slow breath. Let the inhale draw you deeper into rest. Let the exhale release every thought of control. You are not alone in your growth. You are being tended by perfect hands. The gardener's love never ceases, and his care never sleeps. The sun drifts lower now, sliding toward the horizon, painting the vineyard in soft amber light. Long shadows stretch between the rows, the warmth of the day giving way to the hush of early evening. The vines sway gently, their leaves whispering against one another, 1,000 small voices breathing peace into the air. Even the earth seems to exhale, settling deeper into stillness after a long day of quiet work. It is the hour when the garden learns to rest. The gardener stands near the edge of the vineyard, his gaze sweeping over every living branch. He sees no hurry, no waste, no failure, only the beauty of what remains connected. Some vines are heavy with fruit, others still green and forming. Some bear only blossoms yet to open. And yet, all are perfect in their becoming. All belong. Take a slow, deep breath. Let the air enter gently, like evening wind through open leaves. Hold it softly, just long enough to feel the calm settle within you. Then release, slow and sure. Let go of the effort to grow, and rest in the simple grace of being. The gardener steps closer to one of the vines, its branches still glistening faintly with the day's light. He kneels, his hands brushing against the leaves, fingertips tracing the soft ridges of their veins. He does not rush. He only observes. He feels the pulse of life within the vine. Steady, peaceful, true. And he smiles, for he knows growth is not something to be forced, but something to be trusted. So it is with the soul that abides. There are seasons when we move with energy, when our branches stretch and bear much fruit. And there are seasons when the only call is stillness, when our roots drink quietly in the dark. Yet even in silence, the vine gives life. Even in rest, fruit begins to form in unseen places. Another slow breath. Inhale peace. Exhale striving. Feel how the body grows lighter as you release the need to accomplish. There is no race in the rhythm of God. There is only presence, only love flowing as it always has. The air cools. The colors of the sky shift to rose and gold. Shadows lengthen across the soil, wrapping the vineyard in soft embrace. The gardener walks through the rows once more, not to prune, not to water, but simply to be near. His presence itself brings peace. The vines do not fear the night, for they have felt the warmth of his hand. They know he will return with the dawn. He pauses beside one branch that had been trimmed earlier that day. It looks bare now, its edges clean from the cut. Yet within its stillness, new life has already begun. The vine does not mourn what was lost. It trusts what will come. The gardener smiles softly, whispering words that only the wind hears. You are enough, even in rest. Take another deep breath. Let the inhale rise through you like twilight light through trees. Let the exhale soften every thought of worry. You are not loved for your fruit alone. You are loved because you belong to the vine. Even when you feel still, unseen, or unproductive, God's life continues to flow through you. Peace is not found in doing, but in being connected. The first stars begin to appear above the vineyard, faint at first. then brighter as the sky deepens into violet and indigo. The vines grow quiet under their light, the air rich with the scent of ripening fruit. The gardener steps back, hands resting at his sides, eyes reflecting the calm beauty of his creation. He feels the same rhythm within his own heart, the rhythm of giving and receiving, of nurturing and resting. He knows the secret every soul must one day learn. That growth begins not with effort, but with surrender. Another breath. Deeper now. Inhale stillness. Exhale peace. Feel the way your spirit begins to slow, to open, to listen. You are part of the vineyard, part of the life that flows without ceasing. You are not alone in your quiet season, for the vine never stops giving. Even when you are still, He moves within you. The stars brighten. The last of the sunlight fades behind the hills. And in the hush of evening, everything rests in divine rhythm. No striving, no fear, only presence. The garden breathes, the gardener watches, and all is well. The evening deepens, and the garden glows with a kind of soft holiness. The air is cool now, fragrant with the mingling scents of soil and ripening fruit, of earth that has exhaled all day and now lies content. The last traces of sunlight stretch thinly across the hills, fading into the indigo calm of approaching night. Everything has slowed. The vines no longer reach for light, but rest, their leaves whispering in small sighs to the wind. And within each vine, life continues to move unseen. A steady flow, quiet as breath, faithful as heartbeat. The flow of living sap. Deep beneath the soil, the roots drink from secret streams, their thirst quenched by water drawn from deep places where light has never touched. Through them, the living sap rises, cool, strong, full of quiet purpose. It climbs through the vine, into every branch, into every leaf. It moves without effort, without sound, yet it sustains the life of all that grows above. So too does the spirit move within the soul. Invisible, steady, unstoppable. Even when you do not feel it, grace is flowing. Take a slow, deep breath. Let the inhale draw through you like living water. Hold it gently, then release it slowly. Feel how each breath carries peace through your body, the same way the sap carries life through the vine. You do not need to command it. You only need to allow. The gardener walks once more between the rows, the stars beginning to show above him like sparks of divine light. In his hand, he carries a small lamp, its flame steady in the calm air. The glow spills across the vines as he moves, soft and golden like mercy made visible. He pauses to touch one branch, fingers resting lightly on its surface. The vine feels alive beneath his touch, pulsing faintly with a quiet strength that rises from within. He smiles, knowing the life that moves unseen is far greater than what can be seen above the soil. The same is true of you. What God grows within your spirit often moves in silence. There are times you will not feel it. Times when nothing seems to change. Times when your prayers echo softly and fade. But even then, the sap flows. Even then, the Spirit moves. Faith is not proven in the noise of growth, but in the quiet of abiding. Another breath. Slower now. Inhale calm. Exhale tension. Let your breath find its own rhythm, steady and full. Each inhale whispers, I receive. Each exhale whispers, I trust. This is the song of the branch that remains connected. Above the vineyard, the stars thicken in the dark sky, brilliant and endless. The wind sighs gently through the leaves, 1,000 tiny voices murmuring together in harmony. The whole garden seems to hum with quiet life. It is not the rush of daylight, but the calm flow of something deeper, strength disguised as stillness. And within that stillness, every vine is being renewed. The gardener knows the flow cannot be forced. He does not shout. He does not hurry. He only tends, trusting the life within the vine to do what it was created to do. He watches, he waits, and he loves. And the vine, in its stillness, continues to receive. Another deep breath. Inhale light. Exhale fear. Let your body loosen into the rhythm of divine life. There is no effort required, no striving left to hold. You are already connected to the source of all that sustains you. Even in silence, God's Spirit moves through you like sap through living wood. You are being nourished, renewed, and restored. The stars shine brighter, reflected faintly in the curve of ripening grapes. Each one a small promise, a reminder that even in darkness, life is growing. The branches gleam with dew. The air hums with unseen energy. The whole vineyard is alive with the movement of God. Not loud, not dramatic, but deep and steady, like the flow of living sap that never stops. Take one last slow breath before sleep begins to stir at the edges of your mind. Let the inhale remind you of the life that moves quietly within you. Let the exhale remind you that you do not have to earn it. All that God asks is that you remain. And when you do, life flows freely. Peace flows deeply. Love flows without end. Night has now wrapped itself fully around the vineyard. A deep blue calm resting upon the earth like a soft blanket of peace. The stars shimmer above like drops of light scattered from the hands of heaven. A faint breeze drifts through the leaves, cool and slow, carrying the scent of fruit ripening in secret. The garden no longer stirs with work or sound, only the hush of rest and quiet life continuing unseen. Within the stillness, something sacred is happening. The slow bloom of grace. There are no shouts of change here, no rush of visible transformation. The vine simply abides. The branches simply receive. The living sap moves gently through them, nourishing what the eye cannot yet see. Every drop, every pulse, carries promise. Growth is not measured by what appears, but by what deepens beneath the surface. It is the same with the soul. Grace does not always announce itself with noise. It often comes softly, quietly, like moonlight upon the water. Take a slow, deep breath. Let it arrive like a wave of peace washing over your heart. Hold it for a moment, feeling the stillness fill you. Then let it go, smooth and steady. You are breathing the same air that moves through the vineyard, the same spirit that gives life to all that abides. The gardener stands again among his vines, the lantern in his hand casting warm circles of light across the earth. He pauses by one branch, a smaller one, delicate and slender. He bends low, brushing his fingers gently across its leaves. At first, it seems ordinary, untouched. But as he looks closer, he sees tiny buds hidden beneath the folds. They are not yet open, but their promise is certain. He smiles softly, for he knows grace has begun its quiet work. This is how the Spirit moves, unseen, but always sure. We look for signs. We measure progress. We ask for proof. But grace grows in silence. It ripens in trust. It moves when we are still enough to let it. Another breath. Deeper now. Inhale peace. Exhale impatience. Let the air move slowly through you, like wind weaving through leaves. The same patience that fills the gardener's heart fills the earth beneath his feet. He is never hurried, for he knows every bud will open in its own time. He never doubts the process, because he is the source of it. The vineyard glows faintly in the starlight, each vine shining softly, as though wrapped in invisible fire. The branches sway gently, the fruit heavy and content. The gardener's eyes move from one vine to another, and he feels it, the quiet joy that comes when growth is happening without striving. He whispers into the night, "Remain, for you are already becoming." Oi. The words drift like fragrance through the air, and the garden seems to answer with the sigh of leaves in the breeze. Take another breath. Let it fill you with calm assurance. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. God's grace is working in you, even in stillness. What feels dormant is often preparation. What feels silent is often sacred. The night deepens further. The moon climbs higher, spreading its light in silver ribbons over the vines. Every drop of dew glistens like a pearl of promise. The fruit grows heavier in the quiet hours, not through effort, but through connection. So too does your soul grow, not through striving, but through remaining in love. Grace does not need your speed, only your surrender. The gardener sets down his lantern for a moment, lifting his face toward the stars. His heart rests in the rhythm of his own creation. He knows that every living thing, every root, every branch, every soul, is held in perfect timing. There is no delay in what is divine. There is only the gentle unfolding of grace. Another slow breath, and then another. Inhale trust, exhale rest. Let the breath sink deeper than thought, until you feel as though you are breathing from the center of your spirit. This is where peace grows. This is where fruit ripens. Not in noise, not in effort, but in quiet union with the vine. The vineyard breathes as one now, earth and air, branch and root, all moving within the same slow heartbeat of heaven. And beneath the silence, grace continues to bloom. Unseen, unstoppable, eternal. The night lingers deep and still, a calm so complete it feels eternal. The stars shimmer faintly through a thin veil of cloud, their light soft, diffused, gentle upon the vineyard below. The air is cool now, and the leaves of the vine move only when the wind exhales. There is peace here, but also a quiet tension, the kind that precedes change. For even in a place so tranquil, the winds will come again. The seasons must turn, the sky must shift, and when they do, the vine will be tested. The gardener knows this, and he is not afraid, for he has walked through every storm, and the roots he planted go deep enough to hold. The branches, though slender, will bend, not break. Even when the rain falls heavy, even when the wind howls across the hills, the life within the vine will endure. So too must the soul learn this truth. That peace is not found in the absence of storms, but in remaining through them. For the one who planted you has also prepared you. Take a slow, steady breath. Inhale calm. Exhale fear. Let the air move through you like wind across steady branches. You are rooted. You are held. Nothing that comes can uproot what God has already made His own. The first gusts rise from the valley, whispering through the vineyard, stirring the leaves. The branches sway, 1,000 soft movements across the hillside. The fruit trembles lightly on its stems, not in fear, but in readiness. Even in the darkness, there is purpose in the wind. The air cools further, carrying the scent of approaching rain. And soon, the sky murmurs, low thunder rolling far away, like the heartbeat of the earth awakening. The gardener stands among the vines, his lamp extinguished now, for he needs no light to see what he himself has planted. The branches sway against his robe, leaves brushing his hands as he moves between them. He knows this wind. He knows this sound. He lifts his gaze to the sky, and he smiles. For he understands, storms come not to destroy, but to strengthen what has already taken root. The fruit will cling tighter. The branches will grow stronger. The roots will reach deeper into the living water below. The vine will endure. Another breath. Deep. Grounding. Inhale courage. Exhale doubt. Let the rhythm of your breathing match the rhythm of the wind. You are part of this garden too, shaped by the same hand, sustained by the same love. There will be seasons when the winds rise, when the rain falls heavy, when all feels uncertain. Yet beneath it all, the sap still flows. Life still moves within. The rain begins to fall, softly at first, then stronger. Each drop lands upon the leaves with the sound of quiet applause. The branches bow beneath the weight of it, bending gracefully under heaven's touch. And though the storm gathers strength, the vine remains. Lightning flashes across the distant hills, illuminating the garden in brief brilliance. For an instant, everything glows, every leaf, every fruit, every drop of rain turned to light. Then darkness again, and the rhythm continues. The gardener stands firm in the midst of it, rain cascading down his shoulders, soaking his robe, pooling at his feet. His face is calm, serene, lit by the flicker of lightning that dances through the clouds. He does not shield himself from the storm. He shares it with his vines. For he knows that love does not protect from every wind. It remains through every season. And when the morning comes, the garden will be stronger for it. Another slow breath. Softer now. Inhale the sound of the rain. Exhale into trust. Let the storm become your lullaby, not your fear. Each drop that falls is mercy. Each gust of wind is purpose. Even when life shakes you, you are not apart from God's care. You are still connected, still growing, still loved. The storm rages a little longer, then slowly begins to fade. The rain lightens, the wind grows tired, and the first faint break of dawn glimmers behind the clouds. The vineyard drips with silver, the leaves heavy with water and wonder. And though battered by wind and rain, every vine stands. Every branch still clings to the vine. Every fruit still hangs, glistening like jewels in the newborn light. The gardener lifts his face toward the pale horizon. He breathes deeply and smiles. "See," he whispers to the wind, "even the storm obeys love." Oi. Take one final slow breath. Let it fill you with calm after the rain. Let it remind you that storms may bend you, but they cannot break what God sustains. Your roots go deeper than fear. Your life flows from a love that never fades. You are safe. You are held. You are still blooming. The storm has passed, leaving the vineyard washed and glistening under a pale morning sky. Every leaf shimmers with droplets of silver light. Every branch bends slightly beneath the weight of mercy left behind. The air is cool and clean, carrying the scent of rain-soaked earth and the sweetness of renewal. The clouds drift apart slowly, unveiling the sun that rises soft and golden behind them. Its warmth returns to the land like a tender promise, quiet but sure. And all across the hillside, the vines breathe again. They have weathered the wind, and still they live. The gardener walks among them, his robe damp, his sandals dark with soil. He runs his fingers along the branches, feeling the wetness of the rain, the pulse of life that still flows within. Some leaves are torn, some fruit bruised, yet nothing is lost. The vine endures, the roots hold firm. He lifts a branch that had bent low from the storm, propping it gently back against the trellis. He whispers softly, "Stand again. The sun has returned." And the branch lifts, trembling with light. Take a slow, deep breath. Inhale peace. Exhale relief. Feel the air fill you like light returning to a darkened room. Let the breath remind you that you too have endured storms, and still you stand. You are here, breathing, alive, connected to the source that never left you. The rain has left small pools between the rows, reflections of sky rippling with soft light. Birds return, perching on the vines, their feathers shining like tiny rainbows. They sing now, not loudly, but joyfully, as if the garden itself joins in thanksgiving. Even creation knows the storm is never the end, but part of the rhythm that brings renewal. The gardener pauses and kneels beside one vine that had been tested more than the rest. Its fruit hangs heavy, glistening, each droplet of water catching the morning sun like a gem. He touches it gently and smiles. "Even what seemed broken," he murmurs, "has become more beautiful." Oi. For the rain that tried to tear has also washed, and the wind that tried to bend has made the roots stronger. This is how faith grows, not in perfect weather, but in remaining through what seems too much. Another breath, long and soft. Inhale gratitude. Exhale tension. Let your body release what it still holds from its own storms. Every trial that touched you has watered something unseen. Every moment of shaking has deepened your roots in God's love. Even the winds that frightened you have carried His grace. The light warms the leaves now, turning raindrops to sparks of gold. The sound of dripping water fades into stillness, replaced by the rustle of life returning. The fruit swells quietly under the morning sun, fed by the very rain that seemed to threaten it. This is the mystery of abiding, that even what feels painful becomes nourishment. Even what seems loss becomes growth. The gardener stands tall again, the vineyard spread wide before him. Each vine radiant, each branch alive with color and promise. He lifts his face to the sun and closes his eyes. The warmth upon his skin mirrors the peace within his heart. He whispers words the wind carries to every corner of the garden. You were never alone in the storm. You were growing through it. Another slow breath. Inhale the warmth of the new day. Exhale the memory of the night. Let the body soften, the heart open. You are not defined by the storm. You are defined by the vine that held you through it. You are stronger now, rooted deeper, alive with quiet strength. The same spirit that moved through the rain moves now through the sunlight. Always present, always near. The garden hums softly with renewal. Every leaf a hymn of gratitude. Every drop of water a note of praise. Even the earth seems to shine, its darkness turned to mirror the light of heaven. The vineyard breathes as one, a chorus of life singing without words. The storm has passed, but its memory remains as proof of endurance. The gardener smiles once more, turning toward the next row of vines. His steps leave gentle impressions in the wet soil, reminders of his nearness, his care. He knows that soon the branches will bear fruit sweeter than before. For nothing that abides in love is ever wasted. All things, even the storm, serve the song of growth. Take one final deep breath. Let it fill you with gratitude for the peace that follows endurance. Let it remind you that calm always returns, light always rises, and grace always flows. You are part of that same divine rhythm. You live. You move. You are. And still, you abide. The morning unfolds in quiet splendor. The sky washed clean by the night's rain. The light soft and golden upon the hills. Every leaf in the vineyard glows with renewed color. Every droplet of water that lingers on the fruit catches the sunlight and scatters it in tiny sparks of joy. The air carries a hush of reverence, as though creation itself pauses to breathe in gratitude. What was weary now shines. What was shaken now stands firm. The vine lives, and life flows within it stronger than before. The gardener moves among the rows again, his sandals brushing the damp grass, his robe gathering the scent of the morning breeze. He stops where the branches hang low with fruit, the weight of blessing bending them in humility. He smiles softly, and the light seems to rest on his face like grace returning home. He runs his hand gently along the clusters, careful not to disturb their rest. The fruit is firm now, its color rich and full, the sweetness forming quietly inside. It will be some time yet before harvest, but already the promise is here. Take a slow, calm breath. Inhale peace. Exhale release. Let the air fill your chest like sunlight fills the world. Every breath is proof of life flowing, unseen but faithful. You need not force what God is already forming. Your only task is to remain. The vineyard hums softly around him, bees moving lazily among the blossoms, the wind carrying the low song of branches swaying in rhythm. The ground feels alive beneath his feet, the pulse of creation rising from root to sky. He listens and smiles again, for the sound is not random, it is worship. Every living thing in the garden sings its gratitude in its own way. The leaves tremble like whispered prayers. The branches creak softly like voices bowing low. Even the air vibrates with the warmth of thanksgiving. Another breath. Slower this time. Inhale light. Exhale doubt. You are not alone in your praise. The entire world breathes with you. Every soul that abides, every heart that rests in divine presence, becomes part of this same eternal song. It is not a song of striving, but of surrender. The gardener steps into a patch of sunlight. The warmth spills across his hands as he lifts one of the vines to examine it. The scars of pruning are still there, faint but visible. He touches them gently and nods. These marks tell the story of growth, of love that corrected and guided. He whispers, "What was cut has healed, and what healed has borne fruit." Oi! The vine sways lightly in the wind, leaves catching the light as if bowing in gratitude. So it is with every soul that remains. The wounds of yesterday do not define you, they become channels through which grace can flow. The pain that once felt empty is now the very place where love enters. For in the hands of the gardener, even loss becomes life. Even pruning becomes beauty. Another slow breath, deep and full. Inhale renewal. Exhale the memory of striving. Let peace fill the hollow places that once ached. You are not what was broken. You are what continues to grow. And every moment of your journey every night of rain, every dawn of light, has been part of the same divine care. The sunlight spreads wider across the hills, painting gold upon green, warmth upon cool earth. Birdsong rises higher, clear and joyful. The vineyard glows with the quiet fullness of life continuing exactly as it should. The gardener stands at the center of it all, his shadow long and gentle upon the ground. He breathes deeply, as though his own spirit moves through every vine. And truly, it does. For everything that lives in him. Everything that moves by his will. And everything that bears fruit bears it through his life within. Take one more deep breath. Let the air move easily through you, a gift you do not have to earn. Feel the warmth of divine presence within you, the same light that fills the garden. You are part of this same living vine, nourished by the same eternal love. Nothing separates you from that flow. Nothing can. The day continues quietly, full of light and promise. The vineyard stands strong, each branch shimmering with peace. And within that calm, the gardener whispers to the wind, "Abide in me, and you will bear fruit." The breeze carries his voice across the hillside, into the still air, into every listening heart. The sun drifts slowly across the sky now, no longer rising but gliding toward the gentle curve of afternoon. Its light has softened into gold, warm and tender, falling across the vineyard like a quiet blessing. The hum of the day has quieted. Even the birds seem to rest between songs. The vines stand still beneath the sun's glow, their shadows stretching long upon the soil. And within them, unseen by any eye, the fruit continues to ripen. Slowly, silently, faithfully. The fruit that ripens in silence. No one watches this moment. No one marks its time. It happens quietly, within the still rhythm of the vine's own heartbeat. The sweetness forms not by effort, but by remaining connected. What began as a bud has become fullness, not through striving, but through surrender to the steady flow of life. The same truth moves through the soul. Growth that endures is not loud. It is patient. Love that lasts is not hurried. It is still. Take a slow, gentle breath. Inhale calm. Exhale the weight of needing to see results. Let the air fill you like sunlight filling the garden. Hold it softly, then release it, trusting that even as you let go, something continues to grow within. You are ripening too, in ways you may not yet understand. The gardener walks again through the quiet rows. His steps are slow, reverent, the kind of slowness that comes only from peace. He carries no tools this time, no basket, no shears, only his presence. He moves as though listening, feeling the pulse of the vines beneath his fingertips. There is a satisfaction in his eyes, not pride, but joy. Joy in what time and love have done together. Joy in what grows when nothing is forced. He stops by one vine, the same one he tended days before. The fruit has changed, darker now, richer in color, fragrant with promise. He reaches for it gently, lifts a small cluster into his palm. The grapes are warm from the sun, full of life drawn from the earth below. He smiles and whispers, "It is not your strength that made you grow, but your abiding." Oi. The words drift through the air like a soft wind through leaves. Another slow breath. Inhale warmth. Exhale tension. Feel the stillness settle around you like sunlight through a window. You do not have to measure your growth by sight. The divine work within you is quiet, but sure. Every unseen moment of trust, every silent prayer, every act of surrender, becomes fruit in time. The breeze stirs softly through the vineyard, moving from row to row like the breath of God Himself. It carries with it the scent of earth, of life, of things becoming what they were always meant to be. The leaves rustle gently, whispering to one another in the language of peace. It is a song too soft for words, but the gardener hears it. He tilts his face toward the wind, eyes half closed in quiet delight. For the garden has learned to rest, and in that rest it has grown. So it is with the heart that abides. When you rest in God's love, even your stillness becomes fruitful. Even your silence becomes song. Even your waiting becomes worship. The Spirit moves within you, forming sweetness in places that once felt empty. And when the time comes, that fruit will feed more than you could ever imagine. Another breath, deep and steady. Inhale gratitude. Exhale striving. Let go of the need to see the harvest before it arrives. For in the quiet, God is working. In the pause, He is preparing. In the unseen places of your soul, His grace is gathering strength. The light grows softer now, the afternoon folding slowly into the first whispers of evening. The sky deepens into shades of amber and rose, the vineyard wrapped in the warmth of completion. The gardener's steps are slow as he turns toward the path home. He looks back once more at the vineyard, the vines shining under the fading sun. His heart is full. He knows the harvest will come soon. But even now, the work is beautiful. For in the silence, the fruit has ripened. And in the stillness, grace has done its work. Take one final slow breath. Let it fill you like the warmth of evening light. Let it remind you that even when nothing seems to change, God's life is moving through you. Quietly, faithfully, eternally. The fruit is coming. The promise is already alive within you. The day has begun to bow toward evening, the sun sinking low behind the distant hills, spreading light that glows like melted honey over the vineyard. The air has turned soft again, touched by the cool fingers of dusk. Birds circle lazily above the fields, their wings catching the last warmth of the day. And between the long rows of vines, a golden hush settles, the peace of fulfillment after long faithfulness. The fruit has ripened. The waiting is ending, and the garden breathes in quiet gratitude. It is the season of harvest, the harvest of the heart. The gardener stands at the edge of the vineyard, a woven basket at his side once more. He gazes over the vines, each one heavy with fruit glistening under the soft light. He smiles, not with surprise, but with recognition. For this was always the promise hidden in the beginning. Every drop of rain, every ray of light, every pruning and every breeze, all led here. Nothing was wasted. Every moment of abiding has borne its gift. Take a slow, gentle breath. Inhale gratitude. Exhale rest. Let the air move through you like the breeze that stirs the leaves at dusk. This is what the soul feels when it sees the fruit of patience. Not triumph, but peace. Not pride, but thanksgiving. The gardener steps among the vines, his hands moving tenderly through the leaves. He lifts the clusters gently, feeling the weight of their sweetness, the miracle of what has grown in silence. He plucks one grape and holds it to the light, its skin translucent, glowing with the sun's reflection. He smiles again, whispering, "You remained, and you became." Oi. The words fall softly into the air, and the vineyard seems to sigh with joy. The harvest is not hurried. There is no rush in the gardener's pace. He moves from vine to vine, gathering each fruit in its time. Every cluster is received as sacred, every vine treated with reverence. He works in silence, his heart full, his hands steady. For this is not labor, it is communion. The fruit of the vine, the gift of abiding love. Another breath, deeper now. Inhale the scent of evening. Exhale the remnants of striving. Let the peace of fulfillment fill your chest. The fruit of your own soul is not measured in quantity, but in the quiet quality of trust. Every moment you chose to stay connected when it was easier to withdraw. Every prayer whispered in fatigue. Every small act of love unseen by others. These are the harvest of your heart. They are the sweetness of the Spirit made visible. The gardener pauses to rest beneath an olive tree at the edge of the vineyard. The sky above him glows in layers of rose and gold, the first stars flickering faintly through the soft haze of light. He breathes in deeply, the scent of grapes and earth mingling in the air. His eyes are calm, full of joy that needs no words. He knows that not every fruit will be seen by the world, but all are known to him. For what is grown in love never fades. He looks across the rows again, and every vine seems to glimmer in the fading light. The fruit glows softly, rich with color and promise. He whispers, "This is good." Oi. And the earth itself seems to echo back, "It is finished in peace." Oi. Another slow breath. Inhale contentment. Exhale effort. Feel the quiet fullness of God's timing. The harvest will come when it must, and the sweetness will be shared with those who hunger for hope. Your life, your faith, your small and faithful acts will feed others in ways you may never see. For fruit that is born of abiding always multiplies. The sun lowers completely now, only the rim of light still clinging to the horizon. The gardener gathers his basket, now filled with the fruit of patience and love. He walks slowly toward the small gate at the edge of the field, his steps light upon the path. Behind him, the vineyard rests in shadow and glow, every vine still, every branch content. The song of the evening cicadas rises, a soft hymn of completion. And as he steps beyond the final row, the gardener glances back once more. His voice is low, tender, almost like a prayer to the night. What has grown in love will never perish. Oi. Take another slow breath. Let it enter deeply and leave quietly. Feel the sweetness of that truth settle within you. Everything born of love remains. Everything that abides in grace continues to bloom. And in this stillness, you too are part of that eternal harvest. The light has faded now, the last gold of day melting into the quiet blue of evening. A thin veil of dusk drapes itself over the vineyard, soft and calm, turning the world to silver and shadow. The air has cooled, carrying the scent of fruit and earth, of ripeness and rest. What was bright is now gentle. What was busy is now still. It is the hour of peace that follows fulfillment. The hour when the branches no longer strive to bear fruit, for they have learned the joy of simply remaining. It is the joy of abiding. The gardener sits upon a low stone wall near the edge of the field, his basket beside him, half full with fruit gathered in patience and love. He gazes across the vines, each one quiet beneath the first shimmer of evening stars. Their leaves whisper softly as the breeze moves through them. not with effort, but with ease. Everything breathes in rhythm now, the vines, the wind, the heart of the gardener himself. All is joined in one slow pulse of life that never stops moving. All is content. Take a slow, deep breath. Inhale peace. Exhale thought. Let your breath move softly, like wind brushing through still branches. Let your shoulders sink, your mind quiet. You are safe in this calm, connected to something vast and tender. This is what it feels like when the soul has learned to abide. The gardener lifts one of the grapes from the basket and holds it to the starlight. It glows faintly between his fingers, a small globe of life and sweetness born from stillness. He smiles, not because of what the fruit will become, but because of what it already is. Complete. Enough. Alive. He presses it gently, and the skin gives way to juice that glistens on his fingertips. He tastes it, and his eyes soften. It is sweet. Perfectly so. Not because of chance, but because the branch remained connected to the vine until the end. Another breath, soft and slow. Inhale gratitude. Exhale hurry. The fruit of your heart will come to sweetness the same way, not by striving, but by staying. When you choose to rest in God's love instead of rushing to prove your worth, you become like the vine that ripens in its own time. And the joy that follows is gentle, lasting, real. The gardener leans back, resting his hands upon the stone wall behind him. He tilts his face toward the night sky, a tapestry of quiet stars scattered across endless depth. He feels the air upon his skin, the warmth of the day fading into the cool breath of evening. And he smiles again, for he knows this peace was not made by his labor alone. It was born from relationship, from trust between the vine and the branch. The joy of remaining together through every season. The vineyard glows faintly under the starlight, each leaf shimmering like a soft reflection of heaven's light. The branches no longer carry the weight of fruit, for that weight has become fulfillment. They sway lightly now, as if free, unburdened, resting in completion. And yet, the flow of life continues. The sap still moves, the roots still drink, the vine still breathes. Abiding never ends, it only deepens. Another deep breath. Inhale the peace that lingers after purpose is fulfilled. Exhale the need to do more. You are not called to constant motion, but to continuous connection. This is the joy of remaining, to rest in divine love even when the work feels done. For even in stillness, the Spirit flows. The gardener stands slowly, brushing dust from his robe. He looks over the vineyard one last time before night fully falls. Every vine seems alive with quiet light. every leaf humming with unseen praise. He whispers to them softly, "You have done well by resting in me." The wind stirs gently, and the branches answer with a soft rustle, like 1,000 small amens carried into the night. He walks along the path between the rows, one hand trailing over the vines as he passes, each touch a blessing, each step a benediction. He is not saying farewell, for the connection remains even when he leaves the field. He knows the life he placed within the vine continues to flow, even now, even in the dark. For the joy of abiding is not tied to the light of day. It endures through every night. Another breath, deep, unhurried. Let it fill you with quiet joy. You do not need to seek what you already have. The presence of God is here, in this very breath, in this stillness that holds you. It has never left. It never will. The stars shimmer brighter. The moon rises above the horizon, washing the vineyard in silver calm. The gardener pauses once more, his silhouette framed in light. And as the night settles in full, he whispers to the wind, "Abide in my love, and let your joy be full." The night has deepened into stillness, the moon now high above the vineyard, casting pale light over the quiet rows. The air has cooled completely, soft and steady, carrying with it the scent of earth and the faint sweetness of fruit that lingers in the air. Every branch sways gently, unburdened and free, whispering softly to the wind in a language only creation speaks. The harvest is complete. The work is done. And what remains is peace. It is the peace that comes when all has been given, and all has been received. The circle of life and love. The gardener stands again at the heart of his vineyard, the very place where the first seed had been planted long ago. The soil beneath his feet is cool and rich, dark from rain, alive with promise yet to come. He looks around him, at vines now resting after their labor, at roots deep in the earth, at leaves shimmering silver in the moonlight. And he smiles, for everything moves in perfect rhythm, giving and receiving, pouring and being filled. The circle never breaks. Take a slow, deep breath. Inhale calm. Exhale release. Feel the air move through you like the quiet breeze that passes through the vines. This is the rhythm of divine love, the endless exchange between the giver and the receiver. You are part of that rhythm, part of that flow that never ends. The gardener kneels once more, resting his hands upon the soil. He feels the life still pulsing beneath the surface, steady and warm. Even in rest, the roots are at work. They are gathering strength for the next season, absorbing nourishment from what has fallen and been returned to the ground. The circle continues, the the fruit that was gathered will become seed. The seed will grow again. Nothing is wasted in love. Another slow breath. Inhale trust. Exhale striving. Let your chest rise and fall in quiet rhythm with the heartbeat of the earth. This is what it means to belong, to live in the endless movement of giving and receiving grace. When you love, you give. When you rest, you receive. Both are holy. Both are necessary. The gardener lifts his gaze to the sky, where the stars burn like distant embers of eternity. He sees the same circle there, stars born, shining, fading, and returning to light again. The same pattern of creation and renewal flows in heaven as in the soil beneath his feet. It is the same life that moves through the vine and through every living heart. For everything alive flows from the same source. Everything that abides within him. He rises slowly, brushing his hands against his robe, and walks between the rows once more. His hand trails along the vines, fingertips grazing each leaf as if blessing them with peace for the night. The branches sway as he passes, leaves trembling under the brush of his touch. They know the sound of his step, the comfort of his nearness. Even in silence, the connection remains. Another deep breath. Inhale the fullness of being. Exhale all need for more. Let the body rest in gratitude for this moment. You are living within the same circle of divine love. Every act of faith, every prayer, every breath is part of that sacred exchange. God gives life. You receive it. And through you, that life gives again. You are both the branch and the fruit, both the receiver and the giver. And love flows through it all. The night deepens further. The moon climbs higher, bathing the vineyard in silver peace. The fruit that remains gleams softly in the light, like jewels in a crown of quiet glory. The air hums faintly, the song of creation still moving though no sound is heard. It is a lullaby of belonging, a melody of oneness. All that exists is caught within its rhythm: stars, vines, hearts, prayers. All moving together in the same circle of love that began before time. The gardener pauses once more, placing his palm flat upon the trunk of one vine. It is warm under his touch, alive with the pulse of unseen life. He closes his eyes, and for a moment, the silence becomes sacred. Every heartbeat, every whisper of wind, every flicker of light feels united. He breathes slowly, deeply, and in that breath, everything returns to the source. Another breath, slower now. Inhale light, exhale peace. Let the flow move through you like gentle water through open hands. You are not apart from this circle. You are within it. You are both loved and loving, both growing and giving. The vine remains, and so do you. The gardener opens his eyes once more, looking upon his work with quiet joy. Nothing here is wasted, nothing forgotten. All that has been given has returned in fullness. The night hums softly with the steady rhythm of love continuing, endless and whole. And in the still air, his whisper floats through the vines, carried by the wind itself. All that abides in me shall live in love forever. Take one final deep breath. Let it move through you slowly, tenderly. You are part of this eternal flow, the circle that never ends. The gardener's love moves through you still, always giving, always renewing, always whole. The night has grown deep and quiet, a silver hush resting gently across the vineyard. The moon glows full above the hills, its light spilling softly between the rows like a river of calm. The wind has fallen still now. Only the faint rustle of a few leaves breaks the silence. Even the earth seems to be listening, waiting for the sound that cannot be heard but can be felt. The sound of the gardener's whisper. He moves slowly through the rows, his steps so light they leave almost no trace on the soil. The vines reach toward him as he passes, their leaves trembling in the soft glow of moonlight. Every branch seems to lean closer, as if longing to hear what he will say. He pauses near the center of the vineyard, the oldest vine, thick and strong at its base, its roots deep beneath the earth. He rests his hand upon it and smiles. His voice is low, soft as breath, a whisper meant for the heart more than the ear. You are mine. Remain in me. The words drift through the night, carried on the cool air like incense. They move between the leaves, through the fruit, across the soil, into the stillness beyond. And though the sound fades, the meaning lingers. It settles deep in the earth, in the roots, in the very life of the vine itself. This is not command, but communion. Not a rule, but a reminder of love that cannot end. Take a slow, deep breath. Inhale his nearness. Exhale your fear. Let your breath move softly, like wind moving through branches. Feel it, the quiet presence that surrounds you, the peace that asks nothing but your resting. This is the voice that formed you, the voice that calls you still. The gardener kneels now, his fingers moving through the soil around the roots. He feels the pulse of life beneath his hand, steady, strong, eternal. He does not need to see to know that it is good. He whispers again, "You do not have to reach for me. I am already within you." The vine stands silent, yet the sap flows faster. As if in answer, the roots drink deeply. The leaves lift slightly toward the light. The whole garden seems to breathe the same quiet truth. Love has never been distant. It has only ever been near. Another slow breath. Inhale peace. Exhale striving. Let the air move gently through you. A reminder that you live because He gives. There is nothing more to earn. Nothing more to prove. You belong. Because you are loved. You remain. Because He holds you. The night deepens further. Stars multiplying across the vast sky. Their light flickers softly through the vines, shimmering across fruit that glows faintly in the cool air. It feels as though heaven and earth are breathing together. Each inhalation a blessing. Each exhalation a prayer. The whisper of the gardener lingers in it all. You are mine. Remain in me. The words become rhythm. The rhythm becomes peace. He rises slowly, the moonlight catching his face as he looks out across the vineyard. From this place, every vine glows faintly silver, alive, whole. He knows their names, their growth, their story. He knows which ones have endured the storm, which have bent under burden, which have healed from pruning. And He loves them all the same. For to the gardener, there is no such thing as a forgotten branch. Each one bears the mark of His care. Another deep breath, slow and full. Inhale His words. Exhale into stillness. Let them echo softly in your soul. You are mine. Remain in me. Let that truth rest deep within you like roots beneath the soil. It does not need to be repeated, yet it never stops speaking. It is the quiet voice beneath every joy, every silence, every breath. The wind stirs again at last, gentle and cool, passing through the rose like a sigh of blessing. The leaves tremble, the branches sway, and for a moment it feels as though the vineyard itself is answering back. We are yours, and we will remain. The gardener smiles, his eyes filled with light reflected from the heavens above. He turns to walk back along the path, the moonlight falling at his feet. Behind him, the vineyard stands radiant, wrapped in silver and stillness. Life flows quietly through every branch, every root, every leaf. And the whisper he left behind continues to hum through them all. You are mine. Remain in me. Take another slow breath. Inhale belonging. Exhale peace. Let your heart rest in the rhythm of His presence. The gardener has spoken, and His word will not fade. You are loved. You are held. You are home. The hours drift gently toward midnight. and the vineyard lies beneath a blanket of soft silver light. The moon has risen high above the hills, casting its glow across the leaves, turning them to liquid glass in the stillness. Not a sound breaks the peace, only the faint hum of crickets hidden among the stones and grass. The air is cool now, scented with earth and sleep. Even the stars seem closer, as though leaning down to listen to the quiet breathing of the world. It is the hour when everything slows, when the night itself seems to pray. Evening in the vineyard. The gardener has returned once more, his lantern low, its flame a gentle amber glow that sways with each step. He walks the narrow path between the rows, careful and calm, his shadow brushing against the vines like a passing thought of love. The fruit glistens under the moonlight, soft reflections of gold and silver against the deep green leaves. Every vine seems to rest in perfect stillness, their labor done, their roots deep in the memory of the day's warmth. The air feels full, not of sound, but of presence. A peace that breathes, yet does not move. Take a slow, quiet breath. Inhale peace. Exhale release. Let the air move gently through you, like moonlight flowing through the vines. Each breath draws you deeper into stillness, closer to the heart of calm itself. The night does not rush, and neither must you. The gardener stops midway through the vineyard, in a small open space where the soil lies bare and cool. He kneels there, resting one hand upon the earth. The ground is damp with the memory of the storm, but it is firm again, whole again. He closes his eyes, feeling the quiet pulse of life beneath his palm. It is faint, yet steady, the deep hum of the roots drinking in the dark. He smiles softly, for even now, unseen and silent, the vine is alive. The garden is never still to him. He whispers into the quiet, "Rest, my beloved ones. You have done enough." The wind stirs lightly in answer, carrying the scent of fruit and rain. The branches sway once more, slow and graceful, like hearts bowing in reverence. Even the smallest leaf seems to tremble at his words. The whole vineyard exhales as one, as though every vine releases its last weight of the day. Another breath, deep and calm. Inhale his voice. Exhale your weariness. Let the breath remind you that rest is not absence, but presence. It is not the end of growth, but the deepening of life unseen. Even in stillness, the spirit moves. Even in silence, the vine gives. The gardener lingers there for a while, eyes lifted to the stars. He watches the night sky as if reading an ancient promise written in its light. The constellations shimmer, patient and eternal. He knows each one by name, just as he knows every branch in his care. Their light travels across years and miles, yet never fails to arrive. So too does his love, always moving, always reaching, always finding its way. He lowers his gaze back to the garden, and the faintest smile curves upon his lips. The vines seem to glow faintly under the stars, alive with quiet reverence. The world around him breathes, a living prayer of gratitude and peace. He whispers softly, "You have remained, and you have borne fruit. Rest now, and I will keep you." Another breath. Slower now. Inhale the still air. Exhale into surrender. Let the rhythm of your breathing match the rhythm of the world at rest. You are safe within this calm, rooted in divine presence. The same hand that tends the vineyard watches over you. Even in darkness, you are held. The gardener stands slowly, his lantern glowing in the cool air. He begins to walk once more, tracing the path toward the small gate beyond the vines. Each step is slow, deliberate, full of peace. Behind him, the vineyard shimmers softly, its silver leaves like waves upon a quiet sea. The night carries his whisper still, woven into the wind, hidden among the branches. You are mine. Remain in me. The sound is faint, but eternal. Take one final slow breath before we move on. Inhale calm. Exhale all thought. Let the peace of this night enter deep within you. You are resting in the same stillness that holds the world together. The gardener is near. The vine is alive. And you are part of it all. Safe, loved, and watched over in the hush of divine peace. The night has grown even quieter now, the stars steady and full above the dark expanse of the hills. The moon hangs low in the sky, its light silver and soft, like the breath of heaven laid gently upon the earth. The vineyard lies still beneath it all, resting after the long labor of the seasons. The vines no longer stir. The wind has gone to sleep, and every sound has folded itself into silence. It is the deep stillness before sleep, when all creation rests in the rhythm of peace. The gardener has reached the far end of the field, where the vineyard meets a grove of olive trees. He stands for a moment, lantern in hand, the warm glow mingling with the pale shimmer of moonlight. He looks back across the rows, miles of vines sleeping in their soft silver blanket. And he breathes, slow and deep. Every branch, every root, every whisper of life is held in his care. Not one vine forgotten, not one leaf unseen. It is enough. Take a slow, deep breath. Inhale the calm that rests over the garden. Exhale every thought that tries to linger. Let your shoulders soften. Your hands grow still. You are part of this same stillness, part of this divine exhale. There is nothing more you need to do, only to rest. The gardener sets his lantern upon a stone, the flame flickering low, steady as a heartbeat. He kneels beside one of the vines near the edge, placing his hand upon the cool earth. His palm rests there for a long moment, fingers splayed gently across the soil that holds the roots. He feels the life that still moves beneath the surface, quiet but sure. Even in this hour of rest, the vine breathes. Life does not cease when it is still. It deepens. The roots do their silent work, drawing in the last traces of water, holding to the rhythm of the unseen. Everything is alive, even in rest. He closes his eyes and whispers softly into the silence. Be still, and know that I am here. The words drift through the night, dissolving into the air like mist. The vines do not move, but something within them seems to answer. A subtle shimmer passes through the leaves, a pulse of quiet acknowledgement. For even the branches recognize the voice that formed them. Even in sleep, the garden listens. Another slow breath. Inhale stillness. Exhale into peace. Let the breath move through you gently, like the tide drawing back into the sea. This is not the emptiness of silence. It is the fullness of rest. You are being renewed, not by motion, but by surrender. The body rests, the heart listens, and the spirit moves softly between them both. The gardener stays kneeling for a while longer, his face turned toward the earth, eyes closed in quiet prayer. His lips barely move, but the air around him feels alive with presence. He is not asking, not commanding, only communing. This is the language of peace, where words end and understanding begins. Even creation seems to lean in to listen. He rises slowly, the lantern's glow brushing the vines one last time. The night wraps around him like a soft robe, cool and fragrant. He walks toward the olive grove, his footsteps light upon the ground. Behind him, the vineyard lies bathed in moonlight, a landscape of perfect calm. No movement, no struggle, only peace. Another deep breath, slow and steady. Inhale love. Exhale every last trace of tension. Let the air fill you like light fills a dark room. You are safe in this stillness, watched over, cherished. The same peace that fills the vineyard fills you now. It hums through your chest, soft and steady, a lullaby written before time. The gardener pauses at the edge of the grove and looks once more over his creation. He smiles. a quiet, knowing smile of love fulfilled. The whisper of his voice drifts once more across the field. Rest now, for the night belongs to peace. And the words settle into the soil, into the roots, into the soul of everything that lives. Take one final slow breath. Inhale peace. Exhale into stillness. Let your body grow heavy with rest, your spirit light with trust. You are part of this same rhythm, the stillness before sleep, the peace of a garden held in love. The vine holds you, the gardener keeps you. You are safe, and you are home. The night has reached its deepest quiet now, the world bathed in silver stillness. The moon lingers low above the horizon, its light soft and dreamlike, painting the vineyard in a glow that feels almost eternal. The vines stand motionless, their shadows long and calm upon the soil. The air has cooled to perfect peace, the kind of peace that lives between heartbeats. Even the stars seem to slow their shining, as if honoring this sacred silence. It is the hour of knowing, the moment when all striving fades, and only truth remains. The vine eternal. The gardener stands once more among his vines, his presence both seen and unseen. The lantern at his side burns low, its light small but steady, like the ember of a promise that never dies. He looks upon the vineyard with eyes that hold both tenderness and eternity. He sees each vine as it was, as it is, and as it will become. The roots deep in the earth, the branches stretching toward light, the fruit that fed the world, all part of one living whole. For the vine does not end with the season, it endures through them all. Take a slow, deep breath. Inhale eternity. Exhale the limits of the moment. Let your breath move softly, as though carried by the same rhythm that keeps the stars in place. You are breathing the air of forever, the breath of the one who never leaves. For the life that flows through the vine is the same life that flows through you. The gardener kneels once more and presses his hand to the soil. The earth is cool, damp with dew, alive with quiet strength. He can feel the pulse of the roots below, a heartbeat echoing the same rhythm as his own. It has always been this way, the life of the vine moving as one with the life of the gardener. There is no separation between them, only communion. He whispers softly, "What I have planted, I will sustain." The words ripple outward through the soil, through the roots, through every branch. And the vineyard seems to glow faintly brighter in answer. Another slow breath. Inhale belonging. Exhale distance. Feel the boundaries of your being fade into peace. You are not apart from him. You are within him. You are not striving toward love. You are breathing in love that already surrounds you. For the vine is eternal, and all who remain in it share that same endless life. The gardener rises again, lifting his face toward the horizon where the first faint blush of dawn begins to appear. The night is not ending. It is transforming. The darkness itself carries light within it. He watches as the stars begin to dim, their brilliance not fading, but returning to the source. Everything is part of the same divine rhythm, appearing, shining, resting, and returning. Nothing is ever lost. He looks once more at the vineyard, at the vines resting in stillness, at the fruit that remains upon the branches, each one a testament to faithfulness, each one a reflection of his love. He murmurs softly, "I am the vine, and you are the branches." And in that whisper, the whole creation seems to bow. Even the wind holds its breath in reverence. Another breath, slow and deep. Inhale his words. Exhale into trust. Let your body grow heavy, your heart light. You are the branch. He is the vine. His life moves within you even now. There is no separation, no distance, no delay. Only union, only peace. The horizon glows brighter, soft pink and gold mingling with the last blue of night. The first bird calls faintly in the distance, its song delicate as hope reborn. The gardener smiles, for he knows every dawn carries the memory of every night that came before. Every resting root will rise again in the season to come. The vine will never die, for its life is drawn from eternity itself. He steps back, letting the wind brush his robe, the faint scent of grapes and dew rising around him. He closes his eyes for a moment, and the world feels perfectly still. And in that stillness, one truth remains. Love endures, forever flowing, forever giving, forever alive. The vine eternal. Another deep breath. Inhale the promise of dawn. Exhale every shadow. You are part of that eternal flow. Even as the night ends, the presence remains. You are connected. You are kept. You are loved beyond ending. The first light of morning touches the vines. Gold upon silver, warmth upon cool earth. And the gardener whispers one final time into the wind. As I live, so shall you live also. The dawn arrives softly, unfolding across the vineyard like a slow breath of light. The last traces of night drift away in pale ribbons, and the world stirs gently from its sacred sleep. Dewdrops shimmer on every leaf, each one a tiny mirror catching the first golden rays of the sun. The air feels tender and new, cool with memory, yet warm with promise. The silence of the night has not ended, it has only deepened into peace. The earth hums quietly with life once more. Steady. Eternal. This is the resting in the vine. The gardener stands once more among his vines. His eyes calm. His presence radiant in the morning glow. The light touches his face, and it feels as though heaven itself has kissed the earth. He breathes deeply, taking in the scent of soil and fruit a new day. The vines glisten beneath his gaze, strong, rooted, alive. He runs his hand along one of the branches, still cool with dew. He smiles softly and whispers, "You remained. And that was enough." Oi. Take a slow, deep breath. Inhale peace. Exhale gratitude. Let the air move through you like sunlight through open leaves. You have walked through the storms. You have known the stillness. You have rested in the dark. And now, as light returns, you begin again. Not striving, not chasing, simply living within the rhythm of grace. The vineyard glows under the rising sun, every color softened by morning mist. The fruit that remains gleams like small jewels upon the vine. The leaves sway gently in the first breeze of day, a quiet song of praise rising to the heavens. The gardener listens, eyes half closed, heart open. He hears it in the whisper of wind through the branches, in the hum of bees stirring awake, in the silence between sounds, the song of abiding, the melody of love fulfilled. He steps back slowly, taking in the whole of his creation. Nothing is hurried now, nothing forced. Everything stands exactly as it should, rooted, alive, at rest. He knows that new seasons will come, that rain will fall and sun will burn, that the branches will bloom and be pruned again. Yet he is not anxious, for the life within the vine is eternal. And as long as the branch remains, fruit will always follow. Another gentle breath. Inhale the calm of completion. Exhale the need for control. Let the stillness settle in your chest like sunlight settling on the soil. This is the truth that outlasts every season, that the gardener's love is the vine's forever life. You are not sustained by effort, but by connection. You are not defined by fruit, but by faithfulness. The sun rises higher now, spilling light through the rows until every vine shimmers with warmth. Shadows retreat, birds sing, and the air fills with the sound of morning grace. The vineyard breathes again, not with labor, but with worship. The gardener's steps are slow as he walks the path once more, his hands brushing each vine as he passes. It is not a farewell, but a blessing. He will return, as he always does. For the vine and the gardener are never apart. Another breath. Slower now. Inhale presence. Exhale peace. You are the branch that abides, and through you, His life flows. Every breath you take, every quiet act of faith, every whispered prayer in the dark, all a fruit of the same love that moves through the vine. You are part of His endless garden, tended with care, sustained by mercy. And the gardener delights in you. He pauses at the gate, turning once more toward the vineyard bathed in morning light. The air glows around him. The vines gleam with living joy. And as he looks upon them, his voice drifts once more across the stillness. Abide in me, and you will bear fruit. Fruit that will last. The words move like wind through the branches, through the leaves, through the very breath of the world. And the vineyard seems to whisper in reply, "We will remain." The sun climbs higher, the light soft and holy. The world begins to stir again, but the peace of night lingers, quiet and sure. The same life that moved through the darkness now fills the day. And in that eternal rhythm, everything abides. Take one last slow, deep breath. Inhale the warmth of the light. Exhale into stillness. Let the peace of the gardener rest upon you. You are loved. You are held. You are part of the vine eternal. Now rest, and let the life that never ends carry you into the quiet of divine peace.